Begin by testing your subfloor for any moisture with the correct moisture meter. In our case, our subfloor is wood, so the reading must be 16% MC or below. Simply sweep the subfloor to remove any dirt and dust to ensure the floor is free from contamination. A straight edge should be used to check the subfloor is even. If the subfloor is uneven, you should use self-leveling compound or plywood depending on your subfloor type. Roll your underlay out. Score with scissors along any walls. Cut to size with scissors and lay flat. Once completed, your room should look like this. You will need to cut the male part of the click system off so the expansion gap is not compromised. Now the board has a straight edge, you can position the board in place, leaving 10 to 12 mm expansion gap. Fit spaces to stop the board from moving, making sure the expansion gap is correct. As before, cut off the male part of the click system to the same size. Measure the gap for the next board. Measure out the next plank, but make sure you deduct the expansion gap amount. Using a set square, continue to mark across the plank to give you a straight line. Follow the line that has been marked out across the face of the plank onto the back, using a set square to ensure a straight line is made. Position the plank face down and cut along the line you have marked out. Place the plank into position and use the floor spaces to give the correct expansion gap against the walls. Cut the end off the next plank to stagger the joints and click into place. Instead of using a tape measure, you can flip over the board and mark where to cut, not forgetting to leave an expansion gap. Once cut, click the board into position. Continue installing the following rows. Cut the planks accordingly, staggering the joints. Again, use floor spaces to allow the correct expansion gap around the room. When reaching the opposite wall, you'll need to fill in the space, measure the gap and remember not to forget to deduct the expansion gap. Click the board in place and continue along the row. Your completed floor should look something like this.